asked for certain authority to be further strengthened, which is what we did. And in response, the Gallant government has actually taken it away entirely. It's kind of ironic that we're talking about authority that came into play when Justice Ryan's AdCon investigation, when the bureaucracy was non-compliant. That's what is being taken away here. So why would the Gallant government strip this authority away from the Auditor General, that particular authority specifically? It certainly looks bad. It's something that the Auditor General felt should be strengthened, but the Gallant government has removed it entirely. Does the Premier see how bad the optics looks on this?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, nothing has been done yet. It's a bill which has been tabled, and I can tell you that the civil service consulted all stakeholders, and also we said it was clear that they would be consulted and were agreed to the bill. Now, once again, we are going to see the minister talk about it in detail later, but I'd like to tell the Leader of the Opposition that it was under his government that these consultations started. When this includes the consultations with the Auditor General herself. Also, what's important is that we are having a dialogue, and we are going to discuss things with the stakeholders again, and with the opposition, and with the people of New Brunswick. And the Auditor General herself said that she did not have the impression that this had anything to do with a specific file. So I'd like to say that for the Leader of the Opposition's benefit.
Well, Mr. Speaker, let's get more specific even further. Now, the bankruptcy of Co-op Atlantic brought to light some Aconian-type activities, behavior by the Premier and his cabinet ministers. And just like in the case of Acon, a company just a month away from collapse received a loan guarantee from the government. This time it was only $7.5 million, but that was put at risk. There has to be an inquiry into this situation as well. Mr. Speaker, we need to know if civil servants again advised against this loan guarantee, and we need to know whose signature was on that loan guarantee. Was it the Premier? Was it the Minister of Health? Was it Stephen Lund? Who signed off on this? And was our creditor status changed for the worse? Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General should be conducting an inquiry into this, and unless the government is hiding something, wouldn't it be a perfect time for them to change the rules, so to speak? Wouldn't the Premier agree that the timing on this is suspect?
The Honourable recognize the Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, I see that the member of the opposition seems to have a lot of concerns concerning the bill. I want to tell you that for the past 11 years, since 2005, for each successive government reform work that has been done. This isn't a priority of our government, but we decide to go ahead with it after all the work done by the law reform team at the Attorney General's office. That said, I can confirm that in the spirit of collaboration, in order to want to listen what everyone wants to say, this afternoon, a little later today, I will propose an amendment so that the Inquiries Act will be referred to the Standing Committee on Law Amendments. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker, since the topic's on the floor, I wonder if the Auditor General, the Premier, can answer some questions, because in Section 12, it's pretty bad, but Section 12 is even worse, if that's possible. They remove powers to get evidence, the new section that limits the power of the Auditor General to an audit, and if you look at the definition sections, which limits audits to things using accounting and financial standards, and Section 9, audit, is reversed largely for financial transactions and the mechanical work of verifying financial instruments. The so-called performance audit, the more general inquiries into whether documents meet their mandate, whether the authority was abused or not, whether contracts are properly tendered, whether government loans are properly backed up. So can the AG still do them? But again, we're seeing a situation where the government is changing midstream, going to law amendments. Can the AG confirm that this was done because of the pressure the public put on him at this time on this act?
The Honourable Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, I will do even better. You know, last week when we heard about serious concern of the AG, my office, the Office of the Attorney General, reached out to the Auditor General, and they left a message on her mail voice telling her that we were ready to discuss with her because we're ready to keep Section 12.2. Unfortunately, she didn't receive the message from what I'm being told. But now she knows about it, and she has indicated that if we retain Section 12.2 and allow her a bit more time, which we'll do because we're going to the Law Amendments Committee, well, she'll be ready to look at it and maybe support the bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Leader of the official opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, at least we're getting some headway. We're pushing back. We're causing the government to have second, sober thoughts on some of these issues, and that's good. It shows how effective you can be in question period, how effective you can be in the legislature. And Mr. Speaker, if the minister across the way thinks consultation is leaving a voicemail message, he's got another thing coming to him. Just like